He's a strong eagle man.
Nose Candy Randy.
Boom!
Welcome to the Out of Control Show with Rusty J and Kent C. Straight. It's about to get dangerously dangerous.
What's out of control?
Who's out of control?
Where's it out of control?
And why is it out of control, Kent?
Well, Rusty, I got to tell you, there's a lot of shit going down, and it's greasy AF.
Oh, it doesn't. Every day is a new day of scandals.
It never stops.
It does not stop. Like, it is out of control. And that's why we're doing this show, because that shit is so out of control. We have content for days, weeks.
Well, welcome to the Out of Control Show, folks.
Welcome, folks.
Anyone who's paying attention, I'm sure you've heard the latest news about our Liberal federal MP, Randy Boissonneau. He's the Liberal MP for Edmonton out here in Alberta, and he's in a little bit of hot water.
Yeah, is he ever? I don't know where they find these guys, Kent, but is he ever in hot water? And while he resigned today, he's done. He stepped down.
Well, he stepped down from the cabinet position.
And sounds like he had a pretty good gig going there, and he has nothing to worry about. Does he get a pension? He's probably going to get skidded with a pension. Enough. Yeah, geez, probably. Old Candy Randy.
Well, he had multiple scandals going on. He had a company with a business partner. It was medical supplies or PPE, something like that.
Right.
And he was getting government contracts. And I'm pretty sure if you're a cabinet minister in the government, you're not supposed to be handing out.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
contracts.
I can
right?
see there's probably some kind of conflict of interest going on there.
100%.
He's on the up and up, and what do you know? He just happens to have a company to help you out. I bet you there's probably there's stuff going on with because of its PPE and COVID and how long has this been around, and
you know it.
This guy is greasy as they get.
But wait, there's more.
Oh no, is it?
So that's the easy part about it. So he was allegedly, his own company was getting business from the government, but also he was pretending to be Indigenous.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I believe they're calling him Pocahontas.
Oh, good old walking eagle.
Oh, yes. Actually,
that guy's so full of shit.
But wait, there's more.
No, it doesn't stop. We got more.
This is like a Canadian Hollywood movie. Someone should make a movie out of this. So apparently there was a drug bust or two. You have to forgive me. I don't know where. We'll put the info up. But the person that was caught up in this drug bust apparently shares a post office box or a mailing address or something with our MP Randy that we're talking about. So the big joke has been, it was cocaine busts. Now, we're saying allegedly. We don't know for sure, but we can say that it was mentioned in the House of Commons. So it is on the official record in the House of Commons of the Canadian Parliament, Cocaine Randy.
Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes, at the conclusion of asking his question, as he was sitting down, called the Minister of Employment and Workforce Development Cocaine Randy. That is extremely unparliamentary, and I ask you, Mr. Speaker, to ask him to withdraw that remark. Thank you very much.
I see that the member from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes is rising in response to this point of order.
Speaker, I'm sure that I was referring to the other Randy as Cocaine Randy.
It's there. So I say we could say allegedly.
Allegedly.
But we can use that name for the rest of the show here, I think.
Who, Nose Candy Randy?
Nose Candy Randy.
Oh, Nose Candy Randy. You're out of control, bro, and you got busted.
So he already had the conflict of interest, and then he was, I guess, portraying himself to be Indigenous. He actually, there's a video of him, watch this.
I understand that being gifted a traditional name has a very specific cultural and ceremonial context. I wonder if you could share with the committee what that name is, when you were given it, who gave it to you, and what was the ceremony involved?
Absolutely, that is a gift of the name and an eagle feather by Elder Ed LaValle of the Edmonton Two Spirit Society, and that was done in a medicine blanket ceremony the Friday before the election in 2021, and it was the Elder Ed LaValle presided at that ceremony. My mom attended that ceremony, and I really respect that gift. And the Cree name is Mascow Kihiyu, and it translates into Strong Eagle Man. And the reason that the Two Spirits Society conferred this great honor on me is because they said I gave voice to the voiceless. And that the reason they chose Strong Eagle Man was because I would be flying back and forth to Ottawa after the election, and it was my responsibility to take care of it.
Okay, well, we'll be able to verify that, and I do thank you for providing that context.
Strong Eagle Man.
Unreal.
So, whether he knowingly or unknowingly, or maybe his great-grandma told him something, but he's not Indigenous, apparently. So, I don't know where the outrage from the Indigenous community is.
Well,
You'd
hopefully
think
there's
they'd be all over this.
Well, they
I'm
should
sure
be.
there is.
Right?
They're probably just not in the news because the news is not favorable.
Well, unless he's identifying as Indigenous, and maybe that's okay in this day and age, right? 2024, you can identify, you can identify to whatever you want to be. So he, instead of being a furry, he wants to be Indigenous. Some people want to be cats and shit in a litter box.
Well, this is like
we live in the Twilight Zone, bro.
This is a member of Parliament.
That's right.
Conflict of
another
interest.
example that they're greasy, bro.
That's crazy.
They're all greasy, and they're not there for our interests. Obviously, there's, I guess, accusations that this guy, or there's evidence of this guy using his position to line his own pockets with our tax dollars. And I don't know how penetrated we are, but what has gone down in the stories that we have just covered, we're who really is honest and who is working for the people in any of these political parties. Because we could see with the last episode we did, and with the espionage and the biolabs, that was right across all political parties. And we got Jagmeet Singh, who is a Khalistani, and what is he doing to help those people out, and beef there is beef between him and the Indian government. He's not even allowed to go to India. They won't take him, and that's no secret. So these guys are they all corrupt? And you know what I want to see, Kent? And being a taxpayer, and these people, okay, I would think Justin Trudeau and Freeland and the crew, right, that are running our show are in a position of power that should require some, I guess, a clear mind. And they should be coming to work, like everybody else who's in sensitive positions. They should be coming to work. I'll
say it. They should have drug tests.
Drug tests.
Okay, they are
Absolutely.
in charge of billions,
That's
hundreds
right.
of billions of dollars. They make legislative and policy decisions that directly impact our lives, how much our food costs, everything. The quality of our life sometimes, in part, is directed by the environment we have to live in. And these fucking people, look at, I don't know, I'm not making fun of her, but look at how Chrystia Freeland acts. She's all twitchy. I don't know if it's anxiety or demons coming out of her or what the hell. But that's the lady that laughed when they froze bank accounts. These are some evil people. And if they're in charge of our entire economy and everything, and they're acting like this,
they better
and
be.
then we have a Liberal MP who's possibly associated with cocaine deals. I want the people in fucking charge.
Is he the supplier?
Well, we're not saying that.
No, we're not saying that, but
if you're involved in that, you need drug tests.
That's right. They should all be tested, and
I think that's fair for the
very
amount
fair.
of money they make and all this shit that we're hearing.
Well, and the things that they're doing, like
The rest of us are at the mercy of that. If you have a job, you do something crazy at work or have an incident.
Well, let's just put
they're going to
Kent.
drug and piss test you.
That's right, Kent. And let's just say
places.
If they are under the influence and they're not fit for duty, and you've got a guy who's kicking sand in Putin's face, who basically NATO and the U.S. gave the okay for long-range weapons, and now we're in a position where are we on the verge of World War III here?
We're pretty close.
And that's some pretty serious shit, and things are getting real right now, people. And if you haven't gone out and did any kind of preparation, I'd suggest you do. Look at down on just on the West Coast right now. They're getting that big storm. I got a good friend of mine. He's out of power, and he's living life off a generator right now. And who's to say that doesn't happen? We're going into winter, people. Everybody in North America, and life without the grid is a pretty grim one. And I'll tell you that right now, in our Achilles heel, and they all know it, is our grid. Mm-hmm. So, and it just happens that we're kicking, things are escalating in these conflicts now. So it's out of control, Kent. And there's so many things that are out of control, but this one being probably the most dire for all life on this planet, because if it escalates to the point when they basically back that bear in the corner, that's when shit's going to get real. And I think we're getting close to that point. And I sure hope somebody can start talking about peace, because come on, man. Hey, Vlad, if you're watching this, brother, let's give peace a chance. Everybody, let's give peace a chance.
Well, they've got their own battles, between each other. But if we had any little influence, it would be in our own country. And as we spoke in our episode titled War, we have the Prime Minister beating the drums of war. And now, a month and a half before Trump takes office, Biden okays Ukraine to use long-range weapons to strike deeper into Russia. Now, again, we're not on either side. We really just want it to end and people to not die.
That's right.
But they always say peaceful transition of power. They're like, one president is supposed to hand over a peaceful transition of power. That's why they were all upset about January 6th, because they thought people were overthrowing the government and everything that was happening there. When, just like in Canada, it really was a mostly peaceful protest, and then you have a small group of idiots, just like the guy with the Nazi flag in Ottawa. They label 1 million people Nazis because one asshole showed up for 15 minutes, right? So, and I'm not equating that to it was a little worse in America. They were mostly peaceful and walking through, taking pictures, but there was some fights and stuff. But it wasn't the overthrow of the government that they were making it out to be. Okaying the use of these weapons now, Russia has altered their nuclear doctrine. We're now, we're closer to potential nuclear war. I did see where Putin, I believe, has asked to have talks with Ukraine, but only if Trump's involved. Now, I need to find that to verify that, but I did see that.
Yeah, I saw that too, Kent. And here's the crazy thing. Here's something we should make mention. And let's not go down the war. We talk, well, it's hard not to talk about it, seeing as it's the forefront of topics, daily now, it seems. But China, Russia, now North Korea, have all told their public to prepare for war and prepare for nuclear war. So they're not messing around, and we should take notice of that. And because as we're being distracted, some serious things are going down around us. So, and that's just a warning for everybody out there, right? And
well, if you can afford it, food, water, heat, electricity,
right?
Like if you can have
family,
some extra things,
right?
Some jugs of water, a good pry bar, a good knife.
That's right.
If you happen to own firearms, make sure they're in good shape. Some hand tools. I mean, if you can afford things and have, we're not preaching to the choir here. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably already have a mindset.
That's right.
Whereas you should be a little prepared just because you live in North America.
That's right.
And if the power went out for a week.
Well, even the government says you should
more.
have a 72-hour bag ready to go because anything can happen. And if you need to bug out because of fire, because of floods, because of whatever, at least you can just search for that bag and you're gone, right? Hopefully, and that makes a great gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving, and it's one of those gifts you hope nobody needs to use. But
yeah, you could.
If you need to.
Call.
You betcha.
Christmas present.
A great Christmas present.
A first aid kit.
A first aid kit.
A fire extinguisher.
How about a first aid course? There's a lot of people out there that have no idea. And here's another one, everybody listening. Well, I think all the newer phones, but if you have an older phone, download a first aid app. And it's really good in the case of an emergency. Even if you are trained, people tend to forget things, so it's a good resource. It's a quick resource on your phone. Mm-hmm. And every time I do a first aid course, in the class, I'll bring that up because I think it's really important. It's all about response time in emergencies. So,
well, and if you're in shock,
that's
or
right.
maybe you're the one that's hurt.
Yeah, well,
and you're the only one there. I'm going to end on one last thing here. Our very wonderful and extremely masculine Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, was just at the climate conference. And this asshole, did you guys see what this jerk-off had to say? Watch this.
The challenge we're facing right now is that the direct pressures on individuals and households, the affordability crisis, that being kicked in the teeth by inflation around the world over the past few years, the concerns around the rapid pace of change, the instabilities we're seeing, the shifting geopolitics, the disruptions of the supply chain, have a lot of individual citizens, voters, families really worried that they're not able to make ends meet. And it's really, really easy when you're in a short-term survive. I got to be able to pay the rent this month. I got to be able to buy groceries for my kids, to say, okay, let's put climate change as a slightly lower priority. And that's something that's instinctive. When the storm comes, you want to hunker down and just sort of huddle up and wait for it to blow over. We can't do that around climate change.
Yeah, so climate change is more important than like paying your bills and buying groceries or feeding your kids. Like, this guy is a fucking whack job. Like, he is a trust fund kid who's never wanted for anything or money.
Never missed a meal.
And he's like, oh, in the short term, you're worried about bills and feeding your kids and groceries. No, that's like all the time. It's not the short term. That's our whole lives. Our whole lives, all of us work our balls off to pay for everything just to have a half decent life. And this guy's like, well, that's not priority. Climate change is priority. Like, I think, like, I forget what the number is. It's like every 100 years, the ocean goes up like a millimeter or 5 millimeters. It's like the thickness of a fucking dime. Like, we're not, like, sure. we have climate change, right? It's happened for billions of years. Ice ages, hot ages. If the earth didn't warm up, there wouldn't be humans. We wouldn't even be here talking to you. So it's been happening forever. And given the government money is not going to change the atmosphere of the planet. Do we have to be environmentally smart and like improve and do better and better as we move in the future? Of course. But this asshole is saying climate change is a higher priority than your fucking family or your bills or eating food. This guy's a jerk off. Rusty?
Yeah, Kent, I agree. He is, that man is out of control. And I don't know if he's trying to do as much damage as he can with the little time he has left, but he's doing a good job. And all he's doing is just basically painting a bad light for Canada here. And he's
Did you see him apologize for the immigration, saying it's they made some errors?
I have a hard time.
And then he's like, it's other people's fault, bad actors.
Yeah, you know what's probably Harper's fault, because he's still blaming Harper for things that Harper hasn't been around for almost 10 years, man. And this guy's still using him as a scapegoat. Now Trump's on board. He's going to blame everything on Trump. It's all Trump's fault because he's done that in the past, and the guy has never taken any responsibility for any of his actions, and he should be fired. I don't know why we don't have that power. And something we should be looking at doing is because this guy's got to go. He's got to go. We got sellout Singh basically holding us hostage for his pension, and then on top of it, he's complaining about this guy, about groceries and bad scandals, and here comes a guy that could like end his reign, and he's not
liberal.
He's voting liberal, and
Well, the latest news is there's going to be some sort of GST taken off something. So basically, the Liberals are going to do like a year-long, or whenever the election is, apology tour. They're going to do an apology tour. They already started it with the immigration. We're sorry, blah, blah, blah. We're stopping it, blah, blah. Then they're going to talk about taking GST. Like, they're basically going to try to kiss people's ass for the next
No, we need an audit,
months,
man. We need an audit on these guys.
We need them gone.
Yeah, no,
But it's starting now. I'm just letting people know.
Yeah,
they've already started the apology tour.
Yeah.
Get ready. They're going to give you discounts. They're going to give you this. They're going to give you that.
Yeah, they're buying votes.
And then basically, if they ever got in again, is any of this going to change? It's going to be a continued shit show.
Well, let's just face it. The guy, maybe he's lived up to a couple campaign promises, but the ones that really do matter, he hasn't. And I don't know. Did he? His original campaign was he all about immigration and bringing all these people in, like, because that was one of the very first things he did.
They were still pretty consistent, though,
and
like leading up to COVID.
But I mean, like 15 when he first got on board.
No,
like he running saying, "Hey, I'm going to bring in 5 million people in the next 10 years, and at a rate where we won't even know where to put them. We're going to pack and stuff Canada."
Most of the shit the Liberals have done, from doubling our debt and everything else we've talked about, when have they ever said it? Like, of course they have never said that in any of their platforms. They're not, like, imagine in 2015, they're like, yeah, guys, we're just going to totally fuck you all. You're going to have a couple good years. We'll make weed legal. And then in a few years, we're going to lock you down, fuck you up.
Yeah, and there was a reason why they made weed legal, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just to dumb down the people, and everybody's too stoned to care, right? And now they can, basically rob us blind because we're too stoned to care. And I'll ask this again. Who owns our deficit? And we just gave more money to Ukraine.
Yes,
and
$785 million.
Yeah, where are they getting this money? We're broke. Like, we don't have any money in the bank. So, I don't know.
They're borrowing money to give away.
We're borrowing money to give it away. Like, if that isn't financial insanity, then I don't know what is. I can't borrow money to give it away. Well, I guess I could. Doesn't make sense, right? Why would I do that?
Because it's not their money. It would make sense.
It's our money. Our money, people. Yeah. It's ours. And they're just giving it away. So
get used to it. Buckle up. Winter's approaching.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to say, if you've watched this long, thank you very much. We just wanted to do a quick corruption roundup. Trudeau at the climate. Cocaine Randy.
Randy.
Pocahontas.
Oh, the walking eagle.
Potential World War III. Hug your families. It might not happen, but
get to know your neighbor.
But
people.
We're closer than we've been in a while.
In a long time. The doomsday clock.
And especially now, around the holidays, you're out and about a lot more, buying in and out of stores and malls. Keep an eye on them kids. Keep them close by.
Keep them close.
All right.
Be safe, folks.
Keep your sticks on the ice.
Ciao. Peace be with y'all.
Canada, maple syrup and like Captain Say.